Hello, welcome to this short video that details how we can exchange information and integrate FileMaker Pro with the Xero online accounting software. This solution was developed by DataBuzz, a Xero approved developer based in Sydney, Australia. We'll cover some various aspects of authentication and how you can push and pull data from FileMaker to Xero. First of all, we'll cover the setup. We won't go into the full details of how to set this up. We'll cover that in a separate video. But once we've set up our private keys and consumer keys, we can simply click the Authenticate button in our solution file, and that will communicate with the Xero online accounting solution and come back with a result. In this case, it's successfully authenticated with Xero. Now we're ready to go and exchange information with Xero. So let's go into the contact section of our FileMaker solution. And here we have a sample contact with some phone numbers, addresses and contact details. Let's push this up to the Xero online accounting solution. Now over here in my web browser, I've got the demo company set up, and we'll go to the contact section, and we'll just go to the tab showing all contacts that begin with A, and we can see that there isn't one that starts with A called Acme Corp. So let's go back to FileMaker, click the Push to Xero button, and it's going to send the information directly to the Xero API over the internet and come back with a result. And we know that this upload was successful. So let's go over to Xero and we'll just refresh that screen. And there we can see the Acme Corp contact record has come across. And if I go into that record, we can see it's got exactly the same information that came across from FileMaker, including the FileMaker contact ID, the CT1006. If I go right into the record, we can further see all the fields, and these have essentially been mapped from FileMaker. So I'll jump back out of that and go back into contacts and back into FileMaker. So typically you'd want to create a new invoice in FileMaker and use that as your customer relationship management software that would run your small business. So let's create a new invoice to Acme Corp. So we've got our invoice date, our due date, which is 14 days from the invoice date. Let's add some line items. So we'll add some widgets, and we'll have 5 of those, and we'll add another item, and we'll add some development work, and we'll have 10 of those, and we'll add one more item, and let's do some marketing guides, and we'll have 3 of those. So we have an invoice, we've got the unit price, the taxable rate and the subtotal, and down here we've got the various totals for ex-tax, tax amount and total including tax. So let's push that invoice over to Xero, and within a few seconds that'll come back with a result letting us know if the upload was successful or not. Okay, and here we once again with the status of OK. So if I jump back into Xero and go into that contact record, I should now see one linked invoice, and we can see it up here. Invoice number IV2007. And there we are. And if you compare that, you'll see it's exactly the same as what's in FileMaker. So we've just saved a lot of double data entry, having to manually enter the data in FileMaker and then again into the Xero accounting solution. So let's add a payment to this invoice. So we'll just go back to the invoices list, come over to Xero, and we'll add a payment line item. Code. Now this would normally display a list of account codes. In this case it's empty. So if I jump into my accounts tab, you'll see we haven't set up our chart of accounts. So you typically set those up in Xero. So let's import those. So this shows how we can pull data as well as push data. So I'll click the Import Accounts button, and that's going to go to Xero and download all the chart of accounts that have been set up, and here they are. So it's just pulled down 60 records. So if I jump back to my invoices screen, go into that invoice, now when I click on my code list, I'm getting a list of all the bank account codes. Obviously I don't need to see every single account code, I only need to see the ones that I can apply a payment to. So I'll choose one of my bank accounts. I can put in a reference number and the amount they paid, so we'll put in $1,500, and we'll click upload. Sorry, I missed the button there. Here we go. And once again, it's come back with a Xero payment ID. So if I go back to that invoice, we can now see that a payment of $1,500 has been applied. And if I go into that payment, we can see the payment details, including the date and the reference number. So basically everything that was entered in FileMaker. So that concludes our short demonstration video. You can get more information about our Xero integration at the Databuzz website at databuzz.com.au, or click the contact button to contact us for some more information, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have or do a more detailed demonstration online via screen sharing. Thank you for your time.